10th, and I'm going to try to give you a little bit of an update as far as how we're viewing the markets right now and the economy. First of all, you see in the background I've got CNBC showing. I should really shut CNBC off because CNBC is nothing but a barrage of negative news, and if you listen to that all day, you'd think we're in a recession. But as I talk to clients in different industries, it's clear to me that we're not in a recession. Actually, we're in a recovery right now, and in fact, locally here in Michigan, I would venture to say that things are kind of strong. Um, but this recovery is going to be slow and it's going to last a long time. If you look back on how we got here, just to give you a historical statistic, John Erichek from the Upjohn Institute comes up here and he speaks once a year, and he had a statistic a couple years ago that I thought was very telling about where we're at right now. And his statistic was that 65% of our manufacturing jobs have been lost in the last 10 years. 65% of the manufacturing jobs lost in the last 10 years. Now, those jobs are good quality jobs, and also with those jobs comes all the management and the upper level jobs that generate more income too. And so you can see what kind of a huge stimulus on the economy that is. And that statistic was pertaining to Michigan, but I think that statistic could be played out nationwide. So, NAFTA and the big sucking sound that Ross Perot warned us about has really come to roost a bit, and that's the bad news. The good news is that the country's still vibrant. Our manufacturing sectors that have survived, I talk to my clients and my friends that are in those businesses, and they're strong right now, very, very strong. It's the old adage of survival of the fittest. So the manufacturing sectors are strong. And also, I think you're going to continue to see growth in the service sectors, biotechnology, high technology. Our economy in the United States, I'm very bullish on the United States, is going to continue to evolve in a positive manner. It's not to mean that we're not going to have our fits and spurts along the way, but I watched a lot of TV, listened to a lot of news over the years, especially during the correction of 2008 and 2009. And many of you have heard me say this, that one of my favorite quotes I heard was a guy that said, they asked this gentleman, they said, what are the big lessons we should have learned from 2008? And he said, don't learn a lesson that you won't need for another 32 years. And I think that those were some prescient words. When you really think about what that means is don't go down into your foxhole the way it may have ideally been to do prior to 2007, 2008, but don't go down that foxhole now. The same factors that were staring us in the face then are not staring us in the face right now. And that's not to dismiss the risk that's always going to be out there on the horizon, because there's always going to be risk. But the fact of the matter is right now the economy is doing well. We're not booming. The market is not expensive at all. The S&P 500, according to Barron's, had a PE ratio of about 15.5 this weekend, and the Dow's PE was 14. So the market's not expensive. Most of our technical indicators that we follow, and there's a number of them, but most of them are positive right now. And some of these are shorter term in nature, some are longer term, but the bottom line is we have an inexpensive market, and we've got valuations that are at a relatively good level. Now, on the negative side of things, obviously safe money clients and people who hate risk are finding it very difficult right now. And unfortunately, that's going to be the case until our Fed takes a different posture, because they're determined to keep interest rates low. And as they keep interest rates low, there's no safe money alternatives. And as you are aware, those of our clients, what we've done in this sense is we've moved a lot of the former money that would be earmarked to bonds and shorter term, fixed income instruments, to utility stocks, to pipeline stocks, to REIT stocks. The commonality in these areas is we're looking for areas that pay attractive dividends. Not only attractive dividends, but they've got to be growing dividends. We want a growing income stream. The upside of this is we've seen some nice moves in the price of the underlying securities. And again, there's risk here. But, in a market where we need to make some decisions for our clients, we do like utilities. Locally here in Michigan, a lot of us pay Consumers Power. CMS Energy is our utility of choice. And I'll just use CMS as an example. They started paying a dividend again in 2007, and at that time the dividend was 20 cents a share. And if you go to Value Line or some other source and you look at what's happened to their dividend, that dividend's gone up every single year. It's currently 96 cents a share. So a dividend rise from 20 cents a share to 96 cents a share. Very positive, and the stock has moved very positive with that. The current yield on CMS Energies is 4%. So I'll leave you with that we're in basically a positive mode right now. We're obviously our eyes are wide open. We're aware there's a lot of risk out there, but don't watch CNBC. It's not as negative as everyone thinks, and climb out of the foxhole a bit.